I just learned recently that you can now ride a section of the rail trail. And this section of the rail trail runs from Owen Sound down to Dundalk. This is it. This is now the trail. And this feels weird because I'm now allowed on this. And I hadn't been. So it's got 40K as the speed limit. I'm doing, well, it shows 50, but anybody that has a KLR knows that 50 is probably 39. So I can feel all right about going this speed. Now I am thinking the one thing that I may not like so much about this already that I've started is that I do like some challenges and some inclines and things like that, which I have a feeling I'm not going to be getting much of that on a rail trail when it was flat enough for trains. Anyway, a little roadway here. And actually, I know this area because my wife is a teacher and she has a friend that just lives down that road. And what's really neat is that at a certain time of the year, right up here a little ways, snapping turtles, I guess they lay their eggs along this trail, but we came out and saved so many turtles. Basically, this trail becomes littered and little baby turtles. So we had a fun time with my son and daughter and saved some turtles. And honestly, the whole time I'm thinking, okay, these are cute little turtles, but they're going to turn into giant snappers. Anyway, we saved as many as we could. Yes, this is where we set the turtles free. Already a pretty neat little adventure. Maybe a good opportunity for a picture of the bike on the trail. I think what I'm going to have to do if going down this trail, if I find lots of nice little water spots like this, here, we'll get a picture of myself. Everybody likes that. I post quite a bit to Instagram, so I find that squares are the best. You can tell I'm smiling. Certainly is gorgeous, isn't it? My holder here is right beside the bottom button, and this is a S21, I think it is, Samsung. There's a little button here, and one of those prongs, if you don't have it set properly, will sit right on it. And I learned this yesterday when I was out riding with Shooter Tech, and I couldn't get to my phone in time. But that button held down or pressed a number of times with some new update with Samsung and Android. I was doing an emergency SOS call to 911. And I'm driving along the road, and yes, I was not able to stop it, and I had to pull over pretty quick. I was trying to get it because the countdown was like 10 seconds. And I think I saw it at 5 going, I can't turn this off or stop it from dialing. And my gloves don't have the ability to touch the screen. It doesn't have the little pads, I guess. So I did have to talk to the lady, nice lady at 911. And she explained to me, though, that this is happening quite a bit. And it was because of an update. and it automatically turned this feature on all the phones. So she just said if you have that going on, to search SOS on your phone and you'll find it, and that you can turn off it or make it harder to dial than what I had. Little bunny on the road here. Don't worry, bunny, I'll pull over. Oh great, now we're gonna race. No, we're not. So I will tell you though, if you are riding this trail, some of this is soft. This is kind of soft here, not terrible, but the center median or hump or whatever you want to call it, it's pretty hard. So the time that I did go over it, you really do have to be careful that you don't get one tire caught on one side and one on the other. No one would like that, would they? So far this has been a pretty neat trail. So it is soft and mushy enough that honestly I kind of like standing up for this. You can see a little bit better too. It is getting close to 8 o'clock, I think. But right now, the sun's out for a long time. It is kind of neat that they have the 911 markers. Oh, we got a tractor. The things you see when riding a trail. Well, I'm mentioning 911 markers, and I could have hit a tractor. Coulda, didn't. So yeah, it is pretty soft, like I was saying, which is okay, but it's more of a sand than a rock, and I guess this is where Mudtown is? That's weird. It isn't. Mudtown is in downtown Owen Sound. I didn't even know there was a house back there. That's cool. Maybe it's the Mudtown people. Anyway, fantastic restaurant in downtown Owen Sound. Just giving a little free plug here. There's a hamburger. I think they changed the name of it, but it used to be called the Whip Burger. The original chef brought it, and it's fantastic. The best hamburger I've ever had, hands down, and I'm comfortable saying that. It is pretty neat back in here. Oh, and Kettle's Restaurant is up here. Look at this. See, like these must be the spots that have like coming to here and do some fishing. Hello. Well, certainly not a overly busy trail, especially this time of night on a Monday. So far all I've had was, or seen, is a rabbit and a tractor. It certainly does feel safer back here on this trail than it does being on the main road, because I'm yet to see anybody texting and kind of swerving into my lane. That hasn't happened. yet. So I have new tires, and I've never rode with these tires before. I gotta say, I'm really liking them. Continental TCK 80s, or TKC 80s? TKC 80s. That's what it is. Oh, see, look at this. This is fantastic. Another change in the greenery. So this now is us leaving Chatsworth. Now, obviously, you've got to respect the trail and ride it like it was meant to be ridden, but it really is hard to stay slow. It says slow, but it certainly does look like a spot you'd want to go fast in. Except you wouldn't want to fall off. Yeah, so she's a little sloppy here. Again, just that sand stuff. And I am staying on the left side, going around corners, because honestly it is hard to see, and these are some pretty tight turns. And I did just see a bunch of horse poop, since it is a multi-use trail. I was actually doing some reading on etiquette. What do you do when you come across a horse? You think about a motorcycle and the noise that it makes, and I can see it making an animal a little jumpy. So you actually, when you see them, you pull off, you turn off your bike, and you wait for instructions. So maybe the person on the horse will just go by, or maybe they will end up waving you through. And that's how you handle that. Multi-use. So now I've seen one human, one bunny, I did very little riding last year, so I'm really liking this, and I am liking that it is a bit softer of a soil or ground. Oh, that might be a neat spot too. Anytime you see not maintained, that's usually a fun road. But I rode very little and really didn't even get very comfortable on the bike last year. I was more comfortable the year before. really, the more you are in a seat, the more confidence you have, and then you can hit these bumps a lot easier. So I am actually liking how the bike kind of slides around in this soft stuff, because just you got to keep riding it more to know that the tires are going to grip and you're going to be fine. Keep going. He be gone. So I'm really hoping. See, I told you that slippery center stuff. I am really hoping that they figure out how to link it all up. All the rail trails. And then adventure biking could also be kind of like snowmobiling or the four-wheelers. And we could actually adventure to places. Oh, see? Now we're getting interesting. So this is kind of the ruts that I was kind of concerned with, like that we would see that four-wheelers have ripped up. That's the first section, but honestly, like spots like that, I like that. And so I also like, because it's wet, I like the feel of this road much better too. And we're gonna have to watch for swans up here in 50 meters. If you can keep track of the meters for me, that would be fantastic. Oh, look at this. Yeah, this is pretty cool. Let's get another photo of this. This is gorgeous. Look at that. There's a dragonfly right there. I do need to buy gloves that will allow me to take pictures. Seriously, look at that. This was actually a really old phone holder of mine. And I had to put it back on because my other one, which was a RAM mount, wouldn't hold the size of the S21 by Samsung. My S9 fit perfectly. So we're a little softer in here again. It's kind of like jumping the wake. And as it gets a little bit darker, I can tell you that the wake, the center part, does not look as big as it actually is. You feel the ripple and the bump. Ooh, this could be fun. And some rocks. Look at that. We just had some challenges that weren't much of a challenge. So if you watched it this far and you're wondering what I'm riding, it's a KLR650 2017 Camo Edition. I really didn't want the Camo Edition, but I found one used very close to where I lived, still live, and got over that pretty quick, and now I think it looks awesome. I really like the look of it now. Just online I didn't. It's that digital camo. But it isn't stock, this bike. Already mentioned the tires for this year. Shooter Tech put those on for me. Actually, he's put a lot of stuff on this bike. The suspension on it was changed out soon after I bought it with Cogent, and that makes the world a difference. Oh, maybe this is the end. I don't know. Maybe am I in Dundalk? I legitimately have no idea. I don't think so. Or it's not. So we'll have a look here where we are. Maps. So I'm there. So I'm in Holland Centre. Let's follow that rail trail. It's up along Highway 10, loops around, keeps going. There's Markdale. Oh yeah, I'm still good to go. Well, if I ride this a lot, I'm going to get used to the sand and maybe go rip around on one of our beaches. These little waterways are fantastic. Again, such a great little spot. So I'm thinking today I'll probably go down to Markdale and then just come back on the highway. I think we're right beside a place called Berkeley. Now, one thing that I do find, because it's only a 50 or that they might go 40 in here, is that I do find it easier to maneuver this bike and not feel the effects of the softer ground at a bit higher of a speed. Again, I think that's something to just get used to. Alright, well, it's starting to feel like I'm more like in northern Ontario opposed to going south from where I live. Just the vegetation. But there is not the rocks that we see when we head north. Again, no idea where I am. So let's just keep going. Alright, so we've hit 2 humans. Lots of bugs. 2 bunnies. Now I almost hit one when on pavement before I got here. Oh, look at this. There's signs. That's fun. Walters Falls and Collingwood are that way. Does it really say 198 for Collingwood? So my Kojin suspension, which is fantastic, has a number of settings, and Mason set mine up for me, and it feels very different now, and I'm gonna have him look at it again and set it up again for me, because I've lost some weight over this first half of the year. So I'm taking off about 30 pounds, and I really think that weight is making a difference. Now they still feel fine, but something's not quite right. Does that sign say 50? No, it says 10. Okay. We're going to take that as an honest warning. Oh no, it's maximum 10 tons. We're fine. I lost that weight, remember? Holy, look at this place. How am I finding this? Holy. Okay, so this is stunning. Again. County of Grey, Dufferin Grey ATV Club. Huh, nice, I'm part of that club. Did I mention that? All my brothers. Okay, that's neat. See the house down there? An old shack of some sort. flies. I don't even know if you can see anything anymore, if they've just completely blackened out the front of the, the screen, the lens, but I'm just being bombarded by flies right now. Or beetles or something. June isn't for another couple of days, so it can't be June bugs, right? Because that's only in June. Because they're called June bugs. Now, if they were end of May into the middle of June bugs, then whole different story. Not the case. Nope. Resurfacing certainly does make it a nicer path. There's the third bunny. And I can tell you though, right there is Chapmans storage facility. Chapmans ice cream, they're awesome. Great supporters of the community. And I think for another month or something, if you go to their website, they give the community a $4 coupon to use on their products. How awesome is that, eh? Like just to thank the community. Here, have some free stuff. And they do that. So it turns out that if I ever take a job at Chapmans, look at that. I could just ride my motorbike to work. I've never been right here. Should probably figure out how to get to the main road. That's funny. That sign says Main Street. Alright, let's take it. That's the main street. Now, am I going the wrong way or the right way? That's hilarious. I'm on the main street. Look at that, I picked the right way. So we're going 10 north, back to Owen Sound. Now I did enjoy that trail, but I don't know the time right now. So it's probably best for me to just make my way home.